everything I heard on those eaves was exactly right, was exactly correct. So that meant I wasn't listening to the speakers in here. I was listening to the music. It just felt very natural. It just felt like I had been working on the speaker for forever. Hello everybody, my name is Kristian Kohle and I'm the head of Kohlekeller Studios near Frankfurt, a music production studio for rock and heavy metal, where we have been working for more than 20 years on countless metal productions. From melodic metal bands like Powerwolf up to the most extreme metal bands like Aborted, for example. And today I want to tell you my Eve Audio story, which has just started and has been a very romantic story so far. It all started with the setup of this room a few weeks ago. This is the third control room here at Kohlekeller and by far the smallest room. It was intended mainly for recording vocals and for editing drums and other tracks, but also for me to do my YouTube videos in here. It is a small room and it has like a small footprint, just a basic setup for recording and some editing and mixing work. But of course, I wanted a highly professional monitoring setup in here. That's how I started looking for new monitors. And I tried quite a few things. And it actually was my friend Warren Ewart from Produce Like a Pro who made me check out these Eve monitors. So he kept on pushing me. And I was a little hesitant because so far my experience with ribbon tweeters or AMT tweeters had not been the best. I had worked on studio monitors with ribbon tweeters from two different companies and they always sounded wrong to my ears, kind of weird in the high end, kind of hyped. Some people call it detailed, but for me, it was taking away the focus from the mids. And that's where the magic is, especially if you mix highly distorted guitars in metal and rock music. So yeah, it always felt wrong to me. I had problems like getting the right balance, getting my mixes right on ribbon tweeters. So I was like, I'm not sure. Yeah, but he talked me into trying those speakers. But what happened was something that had never happened to me before. And believe me, I have worked on quite a few different monitors over the last decades. So I had my assistant set up the monitors in here, find the right placement, do some measurements, and so on. And then he called me, not to show me the monitors, but he was already working on something. So he showed me a mix he was working on and asked me for my advice. And I just listened to it and went like, yeah, you got to fix this and that. And 100 hertz, I think there's something wrong and blah, 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 blah. Until I realized, oh, damn, I'm listening to those monitors for the first time. And I was not paying attention to the monitors because everything sounded so familiar. It was crazy. So I told him like, hey, can you bounce that mix for me? I have to go to my main control room and double check that on my Amphion speakers that I know very well. Just to find out everything I heard on those eaves was exactly right, was exactly correct. So that meant I wasn't listening to the speakers in here. I was listening to the music. And that is, I guess, the biggest compliment you can give a studio monitor. It just felt very natural. It just felt like I had been working on the speaker for forever, Of course, after that, I did a real field test here with a lot of material, and I did a lot of comparisons and stuff just to find out, and which was very, very boring, just to find out. They just tell you what the music sounds like. Very interesting. So the bass response is amazing for a speaker of that size. I don't need a subwoofer in here, which is very nice because subwoofers are difficult. Really nice low end, tight and not overly hyped or anything. Just very, very nice. The mid-range is very precise, especially if you EQ guitars. You've got to be able to hear all the details. And the mid-range sounds very, very clean. That is very often a problem of other systems. I think it's due to the three-way system, but I don't care. It just sounds great. And the higher frequencies sound very, very natural and very different from what I was used to from ribbon or AMT tweeters. Compared to my Amphion speakers, it seems to be like a little less detailed and a little less fast. So things like lip and mouth noises and cymbal clicks are a little less present compared to my Amphion's. But that might be a good thing. That's what I'm trying to find out. So I have to do a little more work on them to find out if that's cool. So they are a little more forgiving, which makes it a lot more fun to work on them, you know? So you're not wasting your time fixing stuff that nobody's going to hear anyway. Which means it's a good compromise between being fun and being professional, you know? They're, especially those very modern speakers here and there, they are so precise, especially if you work on heavy guitar music with a lot of overtones, they just sound annoying. And even if that's precise, you know, I want to have fun when I listen to a speaker for 8 hours a day. So what I did is I boosted the higher frequencies on the DSP on the speakers, I don't know, half a dB or 1 dB or something. That sounded even more familiar and even more normal to my ears. And since then, I started using this room as my mix reference room. So whenever I'm mixing something in the other rooms, I'm taking the mix here to double check. And it's great. We all know that studio monitors are a very personal thing. And I can just recommend that any studio monitor you try it in your own room. You got to hear it in your room. And you got to make some test mixes and just to find out if you get along with it or not. But if you are in the market for a studio's monitor for mixing rock or metal music, check them out. Check out the, what are they called? SC3070. I just can't remember the product names at Eve. Because this is a highly precise monitor, especially in the crucial mid-range. And at the same time, it's not an annoying sounding speaker, even after 8 or 10 hours of working on it. Many of the modern monitors just sound, whatever, overly precise to my ears, and that just kills the vibe for mixing rock and metal music. So this is a wonderful compromise between fun and precision. So yeah, if you need something for heavy music, check out the SC3070 from Eve Audio. That's all I wanted to tell you. I'm getting back to work now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.